All right, so the sun is right directly in my eyes, but I don't really care. We're doing this thing. This is the price I pay for making good quality content and being out in the sunlight with the sun radiating off of my gorgeous face. If I look straight up, I could blind myself, potentially. But this is the price that I pay for making good quality content for you guys. So, here we are. I got this branch right here in my way. We're gonna go ahead and rectify that situation right now. Get it out of my way because it's being a nuisance. It's being a total nuisance. It's fucking up my video. I've been working on my Trump impression lately. I've gotten pretty good. I know a lot of people, lots of great people on both sides. Both sides. I heard a rumor that Obama voted for me, and who can blame him? Because I am simply the greatest president that God ever created. It's okay. It's not the best. His voice is the hardest part to do. The inflections, like the hand gestures and shit, are very easy. And the head tilt and the lip, you know? And when he inflects, like when he says, like, the radical left, the radical left, the radical news media. The voice is the hardest part. But the vocal patterns, like the way he inflects his voice and the way he says certain sentences and words and repeats himself and the hand gestures and the mannerisms and shit, those are easy. That's the easy part. The hard part is the voice, because it's almost impossible to replicate correctly. Doing an impression of Donald Trump is fucking hard, man. It's tough. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about depression. I'm going to talk about depression today. Because I've been going through it lately. I've been depressed as shit. I just cleaned my room for the first time in a few days. I say a few days, more like a week and a half. It got pretty messy. I just kind of got in a funk. It was weird because I was on a roll there for a while. I was really picking up steam, and then I don't know what happened, but I don't know what happened, but I just kind of got weird. I got into a weird place. I struggle with like imposter syndrome and shit. So like, I'll go through these phases where I feel like I don't deserve to be happy. And that's kind of what I've just come out of now. But I'm here to tell you that just because you're in a place, that does not mean that you do not deserve to be happy. You absolutely deserve to be happy, and you should be happy. Because you're alive. That's why. You know, every day, every second that you walk, live, breathe is an opportunity for you to change your life. I think, I've said this before, I think a lot of people feel like it's too late for them. And the thing is, depression can stem from a lot of different things. People think that depression is sadness. Depression is not sadness. Depression is a holding pattern. There are people who are depressed for years, but they're not, like, sad all the time. Because humans are complex, and this is why I don't necessarily buy, and I've said this before, once again, I don't necessarily believe that the pharmaceutical and the medical industry's definition of depression is accurate. Because depression is just part of the human experience. But when people take on an identity, like with anything, like if you label yourself a failure, you're going to feel like a failure, and you're going to move like a failure. If you see yourself as a fuck up, then you're going to keep fucking up. If you see yourself as remarkable and you see yourself as a successful person, then you're going to act like a remarkable human, and you're going to move like somebody who wants to succeed. It really does start up here. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because it sounds like woo-woo or a cliche or whatever, but like, it's the truth. Now, I say that to say, sometimes you just need to veg out for a day or two. That's what days off are for. I will never get on my high horse and advocate for like hustle culture. If I'm ever joking around, I might. But I don't like this new wave of hustle culture content that's being pushed on the internet right now. I think that balance is important. I am a firm believer that you need your 8 hours of sleep. I am also a firm believer that you need rest days. I advocate for 1 day of the week. If you want to take a weekend, okay, fine, Saturday, Sunday, if you're a little more lenient. But I think that balance is important because on one hand, we have the super hyper type A, destined to burn out hustle culture content on one side, and then on the other side, we've got the lazy sloth, I'm dirty, I bumble through life because being dumb is quirky and cool, and I'm just kind of going through the motions of life, man. And there's got to be some type of middle ground, and I can't tell you where your middle ground is. And this was the case for me. This is why I was depressed for like 3-4 days. I think I just got burned out. I was moving and I was go, and I just kind of was depleted. I was like, man, fuck this shit. Between working and making YouTube videos and going to the gym and doing all this shit and not having down period to kind of relax, my brain and my body was like, man, we're fucking tired, dog. We are tired. We don't want to do anything. We want to lay around. We need a break. And if you pronounce depression, right, or depressed, right, deep rest. Depressed, deep rest is what it translates to. And some people just need a break. There are people whose wires are legitimately crossed, but I'm skeptical as to whether or not I think that they have depression. You know, I had somebody comment on a short that I uploaded forever ago. She said, you know, depression is a real thing. It's a real clinical disease. Do your research. And I was like, no, you do your research, lady. There is no conclusive evidence to prove that depression is a mental disorder. It's not. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder. PTSD is a mental disorder. Those are mental disorders. Depression is not a mental disorder. Depression is not a mental disorder. Depression is a state of being. It's a holding pattern. And people choose to hold themselves depressed. There are people like me who are more susceptible to bouts of depression, but that does not mean that they have depression. It just means that their wiring is kind of bad and that they need to do things to counteract how they're feeling. It doesn't mean you need to take a bunch of mind-altering pills where you don't even know the fucking chemicals that you're putting in your body. You can't even pronounce the names of them, and you're just taking them because some doctor who is profiting off of you told you that you need to take these pills. People will accept that as a healthy solution, and then they'll clock me when I tell them that they need to go to the gym and get sunlight and meditate and all of this shit and eat right. Well, I say that, and people look at me crazy and they're like, no, I need medication. Okay, but you're on medication and you're still depressed. You're still fat. You're still unhappy. But I'm the bad guy. It doesn't make any sense. So I say that to say, sometimes in life, man, you're gonna be sad. You're gonna be sad. Fuck it. The more you try to fight the feeling, you know, by telling yourself, don't feel this way, don't feel this way, don't feel this way, the feelings, they knock harder. That's what they do when you try to push them down, push them down, push them down. You cannot talk yourself out of depression. It doesn't work that way. You have to get up and physically move. That's what humans are designed to do. We still have caveman brains. We are not fully adapted to all of the technology that we have today. And that's another reason that people are so depressed, is because they can't put their fucking phone down. I say, as I'm talking to you, recording this on a phone, but you get the point. The point that I'm trying to make is, You have to get up because your physiology is connected to your psychology. You know, you can't talk yourself 9 times out of 10 out of about a depression. You literally have to get up and physically move. That's how you beat it. You don't need talk therapy, okay? The worst thing you can do when you have a problem is sit down across from somebody and fucking talk about it all day long. This is why I don't advocate for therapy either. You know, friendship is important, camaraderie is important, having social outlets is important, being outside is important, exercise is important. These are the only ways that you deal with this shit. You know, a lot of people read. I need to get back into reading because, like, it's just a good thing to do, read. People know what's good and what's bad for them. They don't have to kid themselves, you know, or they do kid themselves. They kid themselves, they try to talk themselves out of doing what it is that they need to do because they're scared, and that's why they continue to be depressed. That's really what it is. You know what's fucking with you and feeding off of your energy. And when you start to correct those things, you will start to feel better little by little over a period of time. But every person who's sad knows why they're sad. They know. They know. It doesn't take a fucking shrink to tell you why you feel like shit, why your life is shit, and why you want to die. You have to get up and you have to fix the things that are fucking with you. And people don't like to take responsibility anymore. Taking responsibility for your own life and the choices that you make is something that is not popular in today's society. People like to point the finger, they like to look outward instead of looking inward. It's always, 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 always inward first, then outward. So the gist of this video is, if you're depressed, get off your ass. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Peace, love, and light.